Hi, I'm Brad Meyer, restaurant critic for Houston Community Newspapers.
I'm Mark Gator and I sell air guitars at Walmart.
Somebody's got to do it, and he's the man for the job. This week, we go upscale, baby. We went really upscale. We went to the Rex Steakhouse. What does Rex stand for?
I have no idea.
It means king. It's the king of steakhouses, or at least that's what they purport to be.
The next time I go there, I'll probably only go if I'm a king, though.
Yeah.
Because this is upscale. It's definitely above my, what you call your pay grade.
Absolutely. It's part of the restaurant complex that's out about halfway between Conroe and Montgomery. It's also the home of Bistro Italiano, a great little Italian restaurant out there.
Yeah, looks like Rex was an afterthought or something.
Yeah, I think they went with the Italian place first, and then they got a deal they couldn't refuse and opened up a steakhouse.
So, Brad, you probably knew so much. Well, I know you knew so much about the place, more than I did. When we went there, I was thinking we'll go there into this door and it's Rex Steakhouse, but we went in the door and it was the Bistro Italiano because Rex Steakhouse doesn't serve lunch. You were there at lunchtime.
Well, their website says they do, but the waiters don't seem to know that.
They didn't.
No. They said, well, you can order steak, but the restaurant's not open. Yeah. So they seated us in the Italian place, which is, very old school steakhouse. It's dark and looks like it's some rich tapestries and some velvet. And
I tell you, Brad, when we went in, I almost felt important. I mean, they were treating us so nice, and they kept asking. They weren't asking me. They kept asking Brad, "What do you do? Who are you?" Or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if they might have recognized us or not, but we said we wanted steak, and they said, "Yes, sir, right this way." I like that,
That was good. Till we saw the menu.
Well, the menu, it's a little on the pricey side. Don't expect to go in there and get a porterhouse for $9.95. Ain't gonna happen.
But they did on the steak menu have several selections, and every one of them was very expensive.
Right. You're going to have to take that welfare check and convert it to cash before you go there, because
it wouldn't have been bad, Brad, or that bad if the price of your steak included all the
potatoes, the veggies, and the salad, and
just the steak.
Everything's a la carte there, baby. It's old school, and they're gonna wring a couple of dimes out of you when you go there. Not bad. So instead of ordering a couple of $23, $24 steaks, that's not what we did.
We didn't.
We fooled them. We went for the porterhouse for two, $49.90, and that's just for the steak. That's no spud. That's no veggies. That's no salad.
And Brad was so just upfront with this guy. He said $50, and you're not even going to give me vegetables
for lunch
or anything.
This is a dinner menu price, and you're not giving us any break for a lunch discount, which they really ought to have something like that.
Well, I will say this about Brad. They handed us after that the lunch menu for the Italian part, and it was reasonably priced.
Sure, they got some $7.99 luncheon specials, but we wanted beef. We were carnivores today on that day. So we sort of browbeat the guy, and he thought he was a comedian, I think, and he kept trying to tell jokes, and they fell flat, I thought. But he finally said, "We're going to saute some vegetables for you. We're going to throw that in, no charge." It was like it was a big deal.
And it was okay. It was a small deal, small vegetables shredded,
not a lot,
carrots,
not a lot.
zucchini, but what was good about them? There weren't a lot, but I don't think you could have eaten a lot because they were so thin. I couldn't fork them. I would have had to got down and eat them.
You couldn't what?
But fork them.
Oh,
I'm
sorry.
So let me say this about that. When I started eating the steak when they brought it out, I didn't really need any vegetables.
No, man. I gotta tell you, I was all set to be a little critical of this place. This restaurant has been through a few name changes, and it's been struggling to find an identity. But let me tell you something. That steak that was delivered to our table, in your lifetime, in my lifetime, I've had some really great steaks. I worked in the hospitality industry. I've worked in the casino industry. I've been around people who know food.
And I've gone to the hospital and had food, Jell-O in it. Nothing matched up to
this. I would say of the top 10 steaks I've had in my entire life, this is definitely on the list. I don't know if they went. I don't know if they went out of their way or not, but this was a great cut of meat. It was cooked to perfection. It was served on a plate. Must have been 500 degrees.
It was. I thought they were bringing fajitas out.
It was sizzling, and they made a point of saying, "Don't touch this thing. It's hot." And so much so that the steak that was already pre-cut into like 2-ounce little sections.
Fortunately, or we would have had a fight.
Yeah, we would have been fighting each other. But he said if you want your meat cooked a little bit more, just lay it flat on this really hot plate and it'll cook right up. And he's right. There was one piece that was a little more red than I wanted.
Right.
We ordered medium, I think. There was one that was a little on the closer to rare. I flipped it over on that plate, and about 2 minutes later, after it sizzled, it was right at medium, right where I like it. It was a great steak.
Normally when you set a plate that hot in front of me, I want to put my tongue on it just to see if it's really that hot.
Absolutely.
You had to put your napkin up because it's going to spurt grease and stuff.
You know,
it was a great steak.
It was a really good steak. You know, and I don't mind paying a little extra or a lot extra if I'm going to get a really good cut of beef. Now, I got no complaints. We spent $50 for a steak for two, and in this rare occasion, I got no complaints.
Well, and I don't either. And we got the coffee. I got the coffee. You didn't get the coffee.
No.
And it was delicious. The coffee was good. They brought out little bitty cups little bitty pitchers. The service, like I say, was unbelievable. Well, the owner came over.
Yeah, well, the owner, that was real good. Now, the waiter thought he was a comedian. I could have done without Shecky Green at the steakhouse
He
there.
was not that bad.
But he did keep asking me, you know, what do you do? What do you do? You know, hey, I'm not telling you what I do until we finish the meal, and even then, I don't know if I'm telling you.
And again, he left me completely out of it. He didn't care. Looking at me, he said, I don't care.
Most people, when they look at the two of us, you know, they're gonna, you know, they think it's some sort of charity case that you're even along. Anyway, Rex Steakhouse, surprising even me, I recommend it. Great food, pretty darn good service if you don't get Shecky Green telling jokes, and try those steaks. They are great.
Hey, Shecky, you were okay in my book. If I had the money, if I wanted to impress somebody in Bradford, and I had the money to impress them, and I wanted to make sure I got a great steak, this would be the place. There's no doubt.
Hey,
service,
if somebody else is picking up the tab, Rex Steakhouse, your place to go, buddy.
It's a thumbs up for me.
There you go.
Super.
I'm Brad Meyer, restaurant critic for Houston Community Newspapers.
Mark Eder, columnist for the Courier and the Villager.
Until next time, buonasera.